If you don't have a plan of your own life, then you will become the plan of someone else's life. One more time. If you don't have a plan of your own life, then you will become the plan of someone else's life. Welcome back to Freedom Coffee Club. This is volume 3. I'm enjoying, genuinely, so far, the way that these videos have turned out, and I'm thoroughly enjoying putting them together and piecing them together, and I'm hoping that, even if it helps one person, or, even if one person relates, or even if one person feels inspired, then, it gives me the urge to keep going. And, hopefully this becomes something bigger than me, and hopefully it becomes, as meaningful to you as it is to me. And so with that being said, let's dive into volume 3. So going back to what I said a second ago, if you don't have a plan of your own life, then you'll become the plan of someone else's life. And I believe this to be true, through and through. However, a part of me does struggle a little bit with the concept. There's a quote going around right now that is pretty popular, that I've seen on Instagram, and it's kind of catching some trends, and it says something like, the art of not being ready but still doing it anyway will take you far in life. And I find that to also be true as well. I really do. I think there is this aspect of life and planning where people get so caught up in it, and they want to formulate this perfect plan, and they want to curate this, perfect thing, and they don't act on it, or they never put themselves into action, and they never just take a step and start figuring it out along the way. They're trying to formulate this ideal plan, and unfortunately, life doesn't wait around for that. Life is going to continue happening. Life is not going to sit around and wait for you to create this amazing, perfect, ideal plan. It's not. But also understand that there is extreme importance in having a plan, in having a vision, and having a goal. And what does the end look like to you? I think both are equally as important. The plan and the figuring out are important. So with that being said, the two quotes, the two concepts, I think combined create this beautiful union. I think the duality between the two really goes to show that in order to create a successful life, or a life that you find fulfillment in, and whatever that fulfillment looks like to you, that's what it looks like to you. But I think, to continue with what I was saying, the duality of both of these concepts are extremely important in curating the success and the fulfillment that you want in your life. So by adopting both, have a plan of your own life so you don't become the plan of someone else's, but also take the first step. Just take the step. Start figuring it out along the way. Life doesn't wait. And I've learned this in my own life recently. And I've really needed to hear it. And I've just been drilling it in my own brain. Because I need to hear it. Because I need to not just accept it, but understand it and apply it more importantly. I need to apply this to my life. I can't expect this successful life for myself if I don't step out and figure it out. The figuring out is what matters. The figuring out is what matters. But I would argue that the plan, or somewhat of a plan, is equally as important. Have your end goal in mind. Have that dream in mind. but also bite off more than you can chew and figure out how to chew it. Figure out how to chew it. Both are just as important, and I really, really want to keep implying that. Because I think with where I'm at in my life and the success that I'm starting to see, you know, the things that are starting to bear fruit in my life, I've found that I need to have this kind of, you know, this belief, this hope. Like, I have to believe it's going to work out if I want it to work out. If I don't believe it's going to work out, well, then it's definitely not going to work out. But also not stepping into these things in my life without some sort of actionable plan. Both are equally as important. And don't think for a second that I'm talking about balance, because no. I don't agree with balance. I think it's used as an excuse these days. Call it a hot take, but everybody talks about balance and how it's needed and how it's necessary and it's about balance. And no. That's just me. That's just my opinion. But I think balance can be classified as BS sometimes. So no, this duality of these concepts, it's not balance. It's more about just the recognition and understanding that, yeah, have an awesome plan. But don't get so caught up in it either. Bite off more than you can chew and figure out how to chew it. Because that's what it takes. That's what it takes. And I probably sound like a freaking broken record to my friends right now because I've been saying it over and over and over again the last few days. And now I'm saying it here. But because I believe it's so important. I believe that it's just so necessary in order to be successful, because what I'm seeing in my own life in real time, things are coming to fruition. The things that I want and the things that I dream of and the goals that I have, I see them finally starting to bear fruit. And let me tell you, I don't even need to tell you. You know that feeling. We all know that feeling. And I want to feel that feeling 1,000 times over again. And then I want to share that feeling with the people that I love. And I want to share that feeling with my friends and the people that I decide to be family in my life. You know, those friends that cross that barrier, that become your family. Loved ones. All of it. Strangers. I want to share that with people. I want to live that life. I want to live that real life. The art of not being ready and deciding to still do it anyway will take you far in life. Real life. And what is that? What is real life? Well, real can be broken down as something truthful. Real is intentional. Life? Well, life is living. Not just existing, but living. So real life? Well, real life is intentional living. What is intentional living? Well, when you think about it, when you ask yourself the question, what is intentional living to me? It's the pursuits, it's the passions, it's the dreams, it's the goals, it's everything that you want to achieve. That is truly you. That is truly you. You. What do you want? What do you want to achieve? What do you want to do with your life? What type of fulfillment do you want in your life? How are you going to get there? What are you going to do? What are you going to do to get there? That's real life. That's intentional living. Living for what you believe is right. Living for what you believe you want to do. Living for what you want to succeed in. Living for, what it is that you find fulfillment in. What is fulfillment to you? And fulfillment is not something that I think can be described in words. I believe it's ineffable. So the feeling that you get when I say the word fulfillment, that's what fulfillment is. And for me, fulfillment is this warm, cozy, loving feeling, and it's being on top of the world, but at the same time being grounded within yourself, being grounded in who you are, knowing that what you're doing is what you truly want to be doing. It's the thing that you're passionate about. It's the thing that you wake up for and are excited for. You're actually genuinely excited. You want to move forward. You want to keep moving forward. And that's what it's about. Keep moving forward. It's okay if you don't know what's next. It's okay if you don't know how you're going to get there. It's okay. It's okay. And that's what I was trying to get at earlier. Yes, have the plan. Yes, be dedicated to it. Yes, write it down. Yes, make it actionable. Because that's what turns a dream into a goal. It's when you write it down and you it can be actionable, it can be achievable. Yes, do those things. But also, go with it. It's okay if you don't know what's going to happen next. It's okay. And I'm not telling you this specifically. Rather, I'm saying it out loud so it echoes around this room and bounces back into my own ears. Because I need to hear it. I need to hear it. I need to be reminded of it. Because I get so fed up with perfecting this perfect plan and the formulation of it. And I get so caught up in the formulation of it that I lose momentum. And that I don't just start. And I find that when I start and I just move and I keep moving forward, man, like I said earlier, the path begins to reveal itself. And if you believe it's going to work out in your best interest and you full-heartedly believe that it's going to work, well then maybe it works. And I promise you that at least there's a possibility of it working. At least there's a possibility of it working. And what's the flip side of it? What's option B? Well, option B is you sit in a corner and you turn your back against it and you never face it again and you never challenge yourself and you never decide to step foot on that path. And I promise you, I know what the answer is to whether or not you're going to feel fulfillment in your life if you choose option B. You know the answer. I know the answer. This is the delta between option A and option B. That's it. That's the delta. Option B, there is no possibility of your dreams and your goals coming to fruition. No possibility, because you turned your back against it and you decided to walk away from it and you decided to never step foot on that path. You decided that the plan took too long to create. You decided that that's it, I'm just going to throw in the towel. Well, we know what's going to come from that option. We know that there's not going to be any fulfillment, and we know that there's not going to be any sort of success that you dream of. It's that simple. And option A, well, option A is the ladder. And let me tell you, at least on the ladder, there's a possibility of what you want to come true actually coming true. There's a possibility of it actually coming true. There's a possibility that you will find fulfillment. There's a possibility that if you believe in your goals, you believe that they can happen, you genuinely believe in your center, in your core, in your being, you believe that they're possible, and you take steps forward to making those things happen, at least then, there's a possibility of those dreams and those goals coming to fruition. at least then there is a possibility of you experiencing real life. Experiencing fulfillment.